Up the live stream as well for folks who will be joining us on our YouTube channel as well quickly. Meanwhile, just let me quickly give my introduction as well. So I'm Rasha Khan and I'm your host for today's webinar, and I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. Would love to know where are you joining us from. So what you can do is you can drop us a hello on the chat, let us know you're here by letting us know your name and where are you joining us from. So please don't forget to mention your name. Sometimes it's pretty hard to make out your name from your email IDs or usernames. And so yeah, I think we do have few quick minutes. Let's utilize that time. We have an interesting free career masterclass lined up for you with our expert speaker Shalini Mittal will be joining us, who is an FSD developer, expert and instructor. And yeah, we'll be doing a comparison of MERN stack versus Java full stack. So yeah, a very interesting session lined up for you. And I can see the number is increasing of attendees. It's increasing, as we are moving closer towards the timing of the session. So that's great. Meanwhile, would like to welcome everyone once again. If you have just joined right now, we are just doing a quick round of introductions on the chat here. So I see folks have already started introducing themselves on the chat here. I see Rohit has joined us from Bangalore, India. I see Dawson has joined us from Ghana. Sharon has joined us from US. Faith from Kenya. Alexander from Ghana. And Gilovi from US. And also apologies in advance in case I'm pronouncing a name incorrectly. Please do let me know. Sohani has joined us from Gujarat, India. Joy from Delhi, India. Malaika from Pakistan. Isai from US. Surya from Chennai, India. Great. Please keep the introductions coming in. We are just about to start the session. We are moving towards the starting of the session. So let me just do one thing. Let me just also once again drop us a hello on the chat here. And quickly drop in my introduction on the chat here once again, because I saw a lot of new folks have joined in. So folks who have just joined us now, please don't worry, we're just starting the session. And we are just doing a quick round of introductions on the chat here. So you can drop us a hello on the chat, let us know you're here, and let us know your name and where are you joining us from. As this is a global webinar, your folks are joining us from different parts of the world, and that makes the session even more interesting. And also, I would request folks here to be professional, as this is a professional webinar. In case any kind of misuse of language on the chat, that person will be kicked out of the webinar. So I'm just informing that in advance. And please carry on with your introductions. So yeah, let me do one thing. Meanwhile, you're giving your introductions on the chat here. Let me just quickly take you through the starting of the session here. Just introduce you quickly. So this program is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We have been in the digital skills training space for more than a decade now, and we are very proud that we have transformed lives by empowering people via these digital skills. And we have advanced over 500,000 careers. And in 150 plus countries, we have 40 plus global accreditations and 800 plus qualified trainers. And today we have one of those amazing trainers here with us, which I'll introduce you pretty soon. And the topic we'll be covering today is the full stack development, the MERN versus Java stack. But before that, also let me quickly take you through the ground rules of the session. And so there are a few quick and easy ground rules for the session here, which you'll have to follow. So if you have a question for our expert speaker, you'll have to put down your question in the Q&A box. Now, why? Because as you can see, there are so many, amazing introductions, conversations happening on the chat here already. So the thing is, when we move towards the Q&A, we actually might miss your questions in the chat. So that is why you can basically go and put on your questions in the Q&A box. So if you're joined from a laptop, desktop, you can find it on the side in the option section. If you're joined from mobile, you should find it on the top by the name Q&A. Let me know if you have any confusions. I'll be joining you on the chat and helping you out. So please don't worry. And the session is being recorded. So in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again, in case you missed anything, please don't worry. We'll send you a follow-up email with the recording link to view. And for folks, I think already we have a question, webinar certificate. So for the webinar certificate, you'll have to stay till the end. So this session is 60 minutes long. And once the session ends, just before that, I'll be launching a webinar poll where you'll have to submit your full name, which you would want to see on the certificate. And that is how we can share the certificate with you. Without that information, we can't. So please do help us with that. And this is how the certificate will look like. Certificate participation, your name here, that is what we need, and the topic here for the webinar. And this will be by Simplilearn. And people are actually already sharing the certificates on LinkedIn and with their network, and showcasing their professional development, how they're staying up to date with the current trends in the industry. And you can do that also by tagging us on LinkedIn on our Simplilearn handle, and also our expert Shalini Mittal, which I'll introduce soon. And folks are already doing that, and they're getting a lot of support from their network. They're using the hashtag #SimplyGrow. So I'll just share these links with you on the chat. I don't want to interrupt the session right now. So you can check out the hashtag. Folks globally are posting there. There are hundreds of posts there already. So yeah, let's quickly start with the agenda of the session here today. Let me also just quickly look into the chart here, because we saw a lot of introductions here. Few questions. I'll just address your questions shortly. Just have a just wait for like few minutes. Let's quickly go through the agenda of the session today. So the first and the most important agenda of today's session is about you, getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your career better. And the second agenda is the career masterclass topic, MERN versus Java full stack, making the right career move in 2024. So we'll be comparing these stacks. We'll be talking about these stacks individually. And any questions you might have about your career in any of these stacks, or in full stack in general, you can let us know. And after that, we'll be comparing the master's program for full stack developer Java and MERN stack. And this will be again like in collaboration with IBM. This program is, and then based on the interest you share towards enrollment into any of these programs, we will be taking you through the enrollment steps of the program, and quickly sharing the program fee and the upcoming cohort we have for these particular basically programs. And last but not the least, the Q&A. So the Q&A is secured towards the end, in order to make sure that we are able to address all queries you have throughout the session, because I'm pretty sure you'll have different questions throughout the sessions. So in case, but in between, if time allows for our speaker, she'll try to address it during the session. But if not, just have a little patience. We'll address it towards the end. So please don't worry about that. Awesome. So yeah, let's, I think, start with the quick poll here. As I mentioned, let's get to know you a little better. So now, along with your amazing introductions, let's also get to know how many years of experience do you currently have. So I'm just launching a quick poll here to understand, the amount of experience you have. Again, like when I'm talking about experience, I'm talking about general work experience, not related to full stack or software. There are 4 quick options you can choose from. And folks who are watching us on YouTube as well, you folks can basically just write down on the YouTube live chat box. So welcome everyone there as well. So the first option here is currently studying. Second option here is 0 to 3 years. Third option here is 3 to 5 years. And the fourth one, more than 5 years. Also, I see most of you have already started responding. A lot more new folks joining in. Let me do one thing. Let me also just put down the ground rules on the chart for you, because a lot of new folks have joined in, might have missed that. So I'm just quickly putting the ground rules here on the chat, so you can just go through it, because I'm pretty sure you might feel confused about this later on. I'm putting the ground rules on the chat here. For folks who have joined a little late, you can just quickly go through it, and this might help you with any questions you might have as well. Awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll here. I see most of you have responded, and a lot of answers coming on the live chat as well. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll, and also share the results with you folks and our expert Shalini. Let's see what have you voted for. So 41% of you have voted for currently studying, 31% of you have voted for 0 to 3 years, 4% of you voted for 3 to 5 years, and 24% of you have voted for more than 5 years. So interesting. I think a very balanced crowd here. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, moving on to our speaker introduction. So would like to welcome Shalini Mittal, who will be the expert speaker for this webinar. And just a quick introduction about Shalini. Shalini is a full stack development expert, instructor, content creator, YouTuber, and speaker and mentor. She basically is Oracle certified Java professional with 14 plus years of training and development experience in IT industry, providing professional enhancement to individuals and corporates. And she has delivered training on various technology stack to various Fortune 500 companies. So I think you are in for a treat, but we would love to know a little more about Shalini from Shalini Hustle. So welcome, Shalini. A very good evening to you.
Thank you so much, Rasha, and welcome indeed all of you. And it's my pleasure to be here, Rasha. And I guess that's it. More they can look on my LinkedIn profile, and that's totally fine. And we can start with the session. So looking forward to this exciting audience which is present over here.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, Shalini. Let's start the session, and let's quickly start with the comparison of MERN stack versus Java full stack.
Exactly. So I can see we have around 85 plus participants, and we have almost 20% plus who come with 5 years of experience. So just a quick question. What do you think is the difference in MERN and Java? Anyone would want to answer that in chat or Q&A? Or even the YouTubers can answer that. What do you know or what do you understand when you hear the term MERN and the Java full stack?
Yeah, you can folks quickly reply in the chat here. So, yeah.
Yes. If you make it interactive, it will be not boring for you all as well as for me. So different frameworks, Java easy to develop and understanding. Okay. Fine. So I'll just quickly secure application and MERN easy to use. It depends. When you talk about MERN easy to use or when you talk about Java easy to learn, it all depends upon your background, from where you are coming, from which technology did you start. So if you ask me, I started with Java. So React MERN was a bit tricky for me with the syntax that it brings in as opposed to with respect to Java. So I'll quickly share my screen and we just try to understand. Yes, that's exactly correct, Abhishek. You are absolutely correct. So we just quickly understand first before going into MERN or Java. In general, what is a full stack? What technologies go behind? Why do you need all those? And then we will have a quick comparison between your MERN and the Java full stack, or which one is used in the industries, why, what is the reason that one is chosen over another, or which type of industries choose which particular stack. Okay. So I'll just quickly share my screen and let me know if my screen is visible to all. Is my whiteboard visible?
Yeah, folks, please do let us know on the chat by replying yes or no.
Visible. Great. Now, since there are people who are coming in with experience, some are studying as well. Just tell me, when you want to create a website, what all things you require to create a website? Okay, you need a server, then UI. Okay, so you design the UI using what? Yes, front end and back end. So you design the UI, which is the user interface, using the languages called as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Now, what is the role of HTML? Yes, I can add Bootstrap as well. That's awesome. What is the role of HTML? To display the elements on the web page. It only displays, does nothing else. So if you create a heading, you create an image, you create a table, you create a list, you add some videos, you add some audios, whatever you do, it just displays then the sequence in which you add the items. Exactly, that's correct. Dawson Sam, I mean, if I'm not wrong with the name. Yes, it builds the structure of a HTML page. We talk about CSS and Bootstrap, what it does. Yes. So can I say it basically beautifies, or can I just say adds makeup? Oh, that's so awesome, Vinay. Yes, it adds makeup to your HTML pages, right? So if I want to design a form, I want to have a label name along with a text box besides that. I want to have an email and a text box besides that. I want to have a phone and a text box besides that, so on and so forth. And I can have a button wherein I can click on the button to register on the website, right? You want to define the structure, you use HTML. You want to design the structure as to how you want to place the elements, center aligned, left, right, up, bottom, vertically, horizontally, one besides the other, one below the other. You use CSS. That is all. Now with HTML and CSS, you can apply transitions, you can apply animations, you can decorate the web page. But say, for example, if in the name, I enter a name as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do you think it's valid? Should it be allowed? If I enter an email ID, say for example, so my name is Shalini and I just enter the email as Shalini. No, right? That means what do we need? One, we need validations. For us to be able to provide the validations, second is we need to be able to have access to these HTML elements on the web page, right? Need to get the access, need to provide the validations. You need to send messages on the web page. These will be dynamic messages, right? And so on and so forth. HTML CSS says, yes, DOM manipulation, perfect. You will have DOM manipulation. Now, I know that there are few people who are coming in with some technical background and they're using these terms and I'm writing those technical terms. It's totally okay if you're not aware about them, totally ignore them. DOM manipulation, it implies that manipulating this particular document which is on the web page. That is all you need to understand. And there are many things that you want to do. You want to perform all these functionalities wherein your HTML, CSS says, hold on, we can just provide you with the structure and decorate them. But if you want to perform any dynamism, you want to get access to the HTML elements, you want to check for the data, you want to display some dynamic messages, we are not the right persons. They don't provide with the capabilities. Exactly, that's where JavaScript pitches in. Okay, perfect. Awesome audience, right? Yes, add logical concept, provide functionalities, provide rich UI, add dynamism to the web pages, making a web page interactive, perfect joy, right? All this is done by JavaScript. Using plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you will be able to design an entire web page. But as the complexity of your website grows, as you're going to add more designs, more animations, yes, I can say JavaScript, perfect. JavaScript is the brain for your web page, right? The way it is in our body, exactly correct. So brain gets the signals and based on that, it performs some actions. Likewise, JavaScript gets some signals as to what a particular user wants. Based on that, it performs some actions. Awesome analogy, as Asan comments, okay? So exactly, we can say that. Perfect. Awesome. Yes, I'll come to TypeScript a bit later. I mean, I might not be discussing that as of now. We'll keep it for some other workshop, but not for today. Okay. Now, using HTML, you can structure using CSS. Now, what happens is it's as good as if I want to wash clothes, either I do all the process of washing clothes on my own or I use a washing machine. Both of them are doing the same thing, just it becomes easier for us to wash the clothes via washing machine because it saves time as well, right? And it's much more convenient. Physical pain also is relaxed because I don't have to sit and, brush up the stuff and everything. So that's exactly where we have the concept of library, or I can say frameworks. So Bootstrap is a CSS library that makes a developer's job easier to decorate a web page because it comes in with lots of inbuilt features. Likewise, when you talk about JavaScript, writing each and every line of code manually, for example, registration form, a login page, a logout, these are common functionalities across any application that you talk about. E-commerce application, banking application, railway, the ticket reservation application, booking flights application. I mean, just talk about any application. They all come in with a form. They all need validation on the form. They all need to be able to get the data from the form, right? These are repetitive tasks which is taken care by the library or the frameworks for you internally. Hence, for JavaScript, you have a library which is called as React. Okay, so this goes in the front end. Now, when I say register on a web page, after registration, okay, after I register, I go to login page. Now, when I go to the login page, tell me one thing. So if registration is done, then, so this is the first step that you do. Then the second step is you will be logging to the website. So do you register every time, or you register once and then you log in every time? You register once, but then when you try to log in, how is your application able to understand that you are a user who had registered already? That means they need to save your information somewhere, right? Now, any idea where the information is stored? Yes, right? So the data is stored somewhere permanently, which is called as a database. Now, there are two types of databases, that is SQL database and a NoSQL database. When we talk about SQL database, you have, say, for example, from Oracle, you have SQL Server from Microsoft, you have Postgre, SQL, you have MySQL, and so on. When we talk about NoSQL databases, you have MongoDB database, you have Cassandra, you have Redis, and I can go on with the names. Okay. Now, we are going into the depth of what is SQL, what is NoSQL. Just try to understand there are two categories of databases, okay, and the respective softwares for the same. Whenever the data from the registration page has to be sent, right? Now, what JavaScript is doing is, JavaScript is able to fetch the data from the web page. Now, JavaScript has the data, but this data needs to be stored in the database. For security purposes, JavaScript is not allowed to communicate with database directly. Okay. Same way, okay, if I give an analogy for the same, you are a customer, you have a locker in the bank, right? Your data is saved in the locker, but you directly cannot access the data from the locker. What do you have? You have the branch manager. You request to the branch manager, you authenticate yourself, you authorize yourself that yes, you're authorized to access the locker. Only then the bank manager allows you to access the locker, right? Exactly the same way happens over here as well. The way the branch manager works as an intermediary between you and your content, this is your content, totally agreeable, but JavaScript has no direct access to the database, and that is where in between you have a server wherein we have server-side applications. This is called as client-side applications. So HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Angular, React, Vue.js, jQuery, all these are client-side applications. Okay. Database works totally at the backend where the data is persisted. Now, what JavaScript does is, JavaScript makes a request to the server. Now, anyone understands protocol? Can you tell me what is the protocol that we use on the browser? So this is your browser, right? On the browser, you go ahead and type in the URL, right? It is a HTTP request, right? So you make a HTTP request to the server-side application, sending in the data along. Server-side applications are capable enough to understand the HTTP protocol and to be able to intercept the request coming in from the JavaScript applications. They process the request. If required, they communicate with the database. If suppose there is a new registration, it inserts the new record, gets the response from the database, whether a success or a failure. Based on whatever response it gets, it sends the response back to the user. It sends the response back to the user, specifying if it's a success, hey, you are registered successfully. Now please go ahead and log in or verify via your email ID. And if it's a failure, it says, please try again later. Something went wrong. And, please try to register a while later or whatever it is. Okay. Sure, Alexander, not an issue. Now, that is what happens when you send a request and you get the response back. We understood the technologies that goes behind when you're trying to create a front-end application. We understood the database where you persist the data. Okay. Now we need to understand the technology layer, which goes in the middle, which allows the front end and the back end communication to happen. There are various technologies that you can choose from. Okay. So I can choose Java track. I can choose Node.js track. Yes, Subhar Patel, that Ajax is over here at JavaScript layer. Ajax is not a technology. Ajax is a concept which your JavaScript uses to send a request asynchronously in the background from the browser to the backend applications. Okay. You can choose Python, you can choose .NET, and so on and so forth. Now, if you are choosing Java, you would be, now I'm talking about the frameworks which are popular. Yes, you can choose PHP as well. Perfect, right? Rashid, it is server-side applications. SSA is nothing but server-side applications. Okay. Now, if you're using Java, generally the framework that we choose is Spring. If you're using Node.js, the framework that you choose is Express. When you use Python, you use a framework Django or Flask or Fast API. With .NET, it is ASP.NET. PHP, you have a framework that is Laravel and so on and so forth. Okay. Now see, if suppose I speak English and someone of you speak German, I don't know German, you don't know English. What will we need? How can a person who knows English correct, right? We need an interpreter or we need a translator which is able to convert the syntax, right? Same way, if I speak English and if I have a person who is Russian, again, I need a separate translator for the same. Exactly the same way, we have different technologies, different languages. Because of different languages, there are different interpreters for the same. Because there are different interpreters, there are different servers who understand that technology and are able to process the request. Okay. Yes, Rashid agreed Flask as well. You can, I said that. Okay. Now, if you're talking about Java, the server that Java generally uses is Tomcat or JBoss or WebSphere and so on. It depends on the company that you are working with, what server they choose as at an organization level. Talking about Node.js, you have a HTTP lightweight server. Talk about Python, it has a Cherry Pie. Okay, if you talk about .NET, it is the IIS server. If you talk about Apache PHP, you have an Apache HTTP server. Okay, so why different servers? Because you're talking about different languages and different technologies. Umar Patel, don't get confused. Maven is not a server. Maven is a tool that helps you manage your project. Okay. So we're not going into the details of the technological layer. we are discussing at an overview layer. Otherwise, other people might get lost and they might be intimidated with so many terms that we use. Fine? Great. Thank you so much. Fine. So now here you saw that we are going to talk about Java only because we are comparing MERN and Java full stack. Okay. So we'll take Java. We are going to take Node.js and we're going to talk about MongoDB. You can also talk about any of these servers. Say, for example, I chose MySQL. Right. Fine. Now that is the stack. Now, this is where you have all the different layers and why you need all the different layers and how do they basically fit in the environment. So I'll just take a pause here just to see the questions that I have in case I feel like I need to answer. Yes, Vinay, that's correct. Repeat about respective servers. Okay. See, you need different servers, Noah, because the way we have different translators for different languages, you have different servers for different languages. So a Tomcat only understands a Java application. HTTP server only understands a Node.js application. Okay, I hope that actually help you out to understand. Fine. Learn easy. We are coming to MERN. What is MERN? Okay. Yes. How do you learn? By enrolling at Simplilearn and give us a chance to serve you all. So that's where you can learn. MERN, VERN, whatever you want to learn. Okay. Yes, Tushar, Spring is good to go with. Yes, if you know Java, Spring is good. How to self-learn Spring? Udemy, YouTube is full of the content. Simplilearn also has their own YouTube channel. So yes, you can learn if you are motivated enough to learn on your own. Please go ahead and utilize the open sources that's available. Fine. Now, if you see, if a person knows how to create, this is the front end. If a person knows how to create the backend, including the database, okay, we say that you are a full stack developer. To top it up, so we say like cherry on the cake. To top it up, if you are aware about DevOps, if you are aware about cloud platform, nothing like it. You are an asset to an organization. DevOps, just to give an overview, is a short for integrating the development and the operations team. So as a developer, I develop the product. As an operations team, I'm responsible for taking the developed product to the production. When you talk about DevOps, is a developer who is also responsible for the operation. So that developer also understands the operations, how the product goes from development to production. Cloud is you're going to use when you deploy or make your application scalable. Scalable implies across the geographical locations that you have customers with. Okay. I didn't get your question. Absent J only for front end means what? You mean to say if you only know front end, is it that? No, Tushar, projects do matter. If you know only front end, you are a 30 to 40% asset. Unless you prove you are an excellent asset in front end and no one can beat you, then it's fine. So it all depends upon the skills, the way you develop. If you're developing only on the front end, I will definitely say you also go on UX. I mean, just search on it what is UX, but I'm not going into details of that, but yeah. So Priyanka, join in the Simplilearn sessions and all your queries, technical queries will be resolved. I'm sorry, this is not a technical session where I will be able to take your queries regarding errors that you are facing in your project. Okay, so that is about the full stack developer. Now, if someone chooses the track. That is, see, again, you are going to have front end. Okay. So front end, usually you would be using React. So along with React, there can be two tracks. One, you talk about Spring, that is Java, and combine with any of the SQL or a NoSQL track. Okay. Now, when you use React, again with React, you can combine the Node.js and you can again combine any of the two databases that is there. So when you say Java full stack, you will be learning one of the front-end frameworks. Then you will be learning Java. So let me just write down. Okay. If you talk about the Java stack, you will be learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and one of the framework that is, in case, let me say React. Secondly, you will be learning Java. Third, you would be learning Spring or Spring Boot. And then you will be learning any of the one database. If you talk about the MERN stack, in the MERN, again, these things remain the same. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. And then second will be your Node.js. So that is your N. Along with Node.js, you will be learning Express.js, that is your E. When you learn React is your R. And the third is for the database. If you are using MongoDB, that is the N. Okay. So that is with respect to the two stacks that you have. And what you should choose one over the other. As a fresher, you don't have much choices. It depends upon the organization that you enroll, that you are applying for. So if it's an organization who is into gaming, chatting applications, lots of dynamism, social media platforms, MERN stack is the preferred choice. So Netflix, Ola, they prefer MERN and the gaming applications. But if you talk about banks, then definitely enterprise level applications, because of the security that Java provides in, we choose the Java full stack.
Thank you so
Yes,
much,
there's a
Shalini.
poll. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Please continue.
So there's a poll for you all. Please fill in and then Rasha will take it over.
Sure, sure. Just adding to what you were saying, Shalini, like we can see so many questions here, right? They have so many questions, and how nicely you have explained the comparison as well between MERN and full stack. So we have just launched the poll as well before we move forward with the programs. And these are the concerns. So what is stopping you from becoming a full stack developer, MERN or Java stack? So we have like few concerns on this poll. This one is a multiple choice poll. We can select multiple options as well. So I've just read out these options for you. The first one is I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one, I don't have the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And the third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the fourth one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So these are the options, and I see most of you have already started responding. So let's give it 15 more seconds. And a lot of questions now, which we are getting, I think we'll lose track of your questions. So you can move your questions to Q&A. Shalini will be looking into the Q&A box as well as we move forward. Awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll, which is live right now. Folks who are watching us on YouTube, you can let us know by responding your concerns, your questions on the YouTube live chat box. We're looking into that as well equally. So last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And obviously, if these are not your concerns, the Q&A box is open for you. So let me share the results with our expert Shalini here and see like what have you voted for. 31% of you have voted for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. 47% of you, the highest percentage, have voted for I don't have the practical exposure. I need to become job ready. And I think we're seeing that as one of the biggest concerns. 19% of you have voted for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And 29% of you have given votes for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Definitely gives us an understanding of what are the concerns, challenges. Now moving on towards our introduction of the program. So starting with the master's program in collaboration with IBM, the full stack developer program MERN stack. This comes with a duration of 6 months, and it comes with a comprehensive curriculum with an industry-aligned learning path. We will be also talking about the learning path in detail to give you an understanding of what exactly happens in the program. We have integrated case studies and projects for hands-on experience for folks who are concerned about the practical exposure part, right? We'll be addressing that as well. And yeah, the format is live virtual classrooms. Most of it is live, and we do have pre-recorded videos, which I'll show you quickly in the learning environment, followed by the programs. And yeah, like program duration is of 6 months. You can approximately give like 10 to 15 hours of your time per week to complete this master's program. Now moving on to the learning path of the program. So maybe Shalini, if you can take us through the learning path.
Yes. So I guess we have already discussed this. So you start with the front end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. So in the MERN, you would see that is the R that stands for. So there will be induction where you would get to know about the program. Then you start building your front end. Moving on, data structures and algorithm, because you need to process the data. So you need to know the algorithms, sorting, filtering the data. That's the algorithms that will be there. And then moving on to the backend, if it's the MERN stack, you would be learning Node.js and Express and the database as well. And capstone project, just to give an overview, the capstone projects are real-time projects which you will be developing. They will be simulation of a real-time projects. So for example, if you know the like for example, Make My Trip or airline booking systems. So we tend to make you create projects which includes everything from the start to the end, so that you are practicing all the technologies that you have learned in the last 6 months.
Yes, and we also have electives here. This is in collaboration with IBM. So IBM reactive architecture, reactive microservices. Again, like the electives are optional; they come as a part of the program, so you don't have to pay anything extra for that. It is up to you if you want to take it up. Now moving on to the tools, in-demand tools, libraries, and platforms. I think Charlie have already covered it
Yes.
in detail.
I've covered
But
everything.
if you want to share some comment, you can share that about the program as well.
Just I can highlight, we have discussed everything, just that if you see Docker and Jenkins are the DevOps, which I was talking about, and AWS is the cloud platform, which I was talking about. So Git, Jenkins, Docker are the DevOps, and AWS is the cloud platform. Rest we have already discussed.
Yeah. And we have the full stack Java developer program as well. So this program is also in collaboration with IBM, comes with a comprehensive curriculum, learning path, case studies, which you can grab your hands on, get that practical exposure. Also, the format here is also of a live virtual classroom with pre-recorded videos, which I'll show you in the learning environment in upcoming slides. And yeah, program duration for this one is also 6 months, and you can complete by giving 10 to 15 hours per week. And yeah, like moving on to the learning path of the full stack Java developer program.
It's the same. Only the thing is that so from the below path, everything remains the same. The only part is in the backend, you will have Java and Spring. Rest all the capstones and the UI part, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, they all remain the same. So I guess we can move ahead.
Yes, only the electives here are a little extra. So learn all things integration, deployment. IBM collaboration gives you SQL relational databases one-on-one and reactive architecture, reactive microservice, which is there in the MERN stack as well. And yeah, in-demand tools, libraries, and platforms here as well. So, yeah. And moving on to the eligibility criteria here. So for both of the programs, you can have any technical degree or equivalent, and you need to have some basic programming knowledge. And you're not required to have any prior professional experience, but if you do have it, like it's not a problem. Obviously, any kind of experience wherever you work comes in handy. It definitely helps you out in many ways possible. And yeah, moving on to the caption projects. So Shalini, I think we have gotten the highest amount of votes for that poll option that I don't have the practical exposure I need to become job ready. So you have already mentioned about the projects, but what exactly are these caption projects and how do they help them, for this program? What kind of experience they can expect?
So basically what happens when you start learning anything, it's too overwhelming for anyone who starts learning initially. Same happened with me also. So I had a mentor who basically guided me in a way, said that choose one track, Shalini. So whether you take Java track or the MERN track or any particular one track. You take one track, you gain experience in that, you learn, you practice, you create projects that mimic real life business scenarios. So basically, you can go on the website, you can pick up anyone, and you should start developing those websites. The reason being, when you develop projects, you actually learn and understand the importance of whatever was taught in the last 6 months. Plus, definitely, it's not possible for anyone to remember everything you learned 6 months before. So when you develop a capstone project, it's kind of a revision for you as well. Plus, believe me, you get lots of real-time scenarios which you actually face in the project, which have done it. And small mistakes, even a semicolon, a dot, a file naming convention. I mean, there are so many things. And believe me, the project goes for a toss in the production. So when you actually develop a project, you learn nitty-gritties of a project creation, what all goes behind the entire project that's created. And it's not one man's job, but we make you do it one man so that you actually understand when someone is doing. You will be able to work in a team because you understand every layer of the project. So if suppose even if you're doing only front end, but you understand what goes in the back end. So when you develop a capstone project, you are gaining an experience, a real-time experience as to what can go wrong and what you should have done better so that your development time reduces.
Thank you so much for explaining that so nicely. And moving on to the industry growth and salary. Obviously, the salary and the industry growth is important, right? You're selecting a sector. So let's talk about that quickly. So we have seen 35% annual growth of our full stack developer jobs from 2015 to 2024. And yeah, it's growing, and we can see there are almost 12K plus jobs here available in the market in only in India region I'm talking about. Globally, I'm pretty sure it's more than that. And just to give you an approximate idea on the salary part, and we can see that it starts with a minimum of 600K lakhs, and here it goes to an average of 1200K lakhs here, and goes up to a maximum of 2000K basically INR rupees here. Again, like that is just to give you an example of what's happening in the industry. And also the companies which are hiring, Amazon, you can see Microsoft, the CGI, Pearson, and Wells Fargo, KPMG, IBM, Salesforce, essentially just being one of them among hundreds. And folks, I can see a lot of questions are coming in, and we will address them. Please don't worry, just have a little patience. And yeah, what exactly you'll be getting from this program? So you will be getting a full stack developer MERN stack certificate. You can see it on the screen here. And you can see this is for the master's program. Your name will be here, and this will be accredited by Simplilearn. And also there'll be IBM collaboration, certificates as well if you opt for the electives. And there are 40 plus micro skilling exercises and 6 plus work-like professional projects, which we have talked about. There are you can develop your expertise in 10 plus full stack development tools and frameworks, which we have nicely gone through. Shalini has explained it very well. And yeah, you can also build a robust Git portfolio to showcase your proficiency in building dynamic web applications. Again, like that is one of the most important parts of the MERN stack program as well. And talking about now the full stack Java developer program. Here also you get a certificate. This is accredited by Simplilearn in collaboration with IBM. You can get to work on 20 plus hands-on projects on integrated labs. There are caption projects you can choose from in 4 different domains. And there is basically a job assist program as well. So yeah, with this, we would like to summarize your interest. But before that, I think I saw a few questions about the program learning environment. Let me do one thing. Let me just go back. Just a second. I have it open. Maybe I can just quickly show you if you want to see before we move on towards the enrollment step. So here, this is the learning environment by Simplilearn, and this is what you see when you basically opt for the program. I'm just showing you quickly for the full stack Java developer one. It's very similar to the MERN one, and you can see all the things we have covered. You can unlock your progress here. You can see what progress you're making to pass at least 2 course in projects from 2 different courses. You can see the options here. You need to complete 65% to unlock the certificate, and you can see the induction, all the things we have talked about. You can see there are a combination of live classes and self-learning. Right now, you're not able to see basically the live classes because there is an ongoing cohort and there is an upcoming cohort which we are talking about. So it will be visible that way. But then there are labs as well. Let me just open one of them, and let's see like if we can look at something quickly just to give you an overview. Yes, I think, yeah. So yeah, we can see there is a whole curriculum section here, self-learning section here, which you can get familiar with. Let me see if I'm able to play one quickly. Let me just quickly play something just to give you an idea.
Let's discuss dependency injection. Dependency injection is the basic functionality given by Spring IOC, inversion of control. Spring Core is responsible for injecting dependencies with the help of either setter methods or constructor. The design principle of IOC emphasizes keeping the Java classes independent from each other and container frees them from creating an object in maintenance.
So yeah, just to give you an overview quickly, that is why I played it, but yeah, there is a whole curriculum here of self-learning videos, but then there are live classes as well. So I'm not able to see it right now because there is an ongoing cohort, but you can see your live classes and the classes you are from here. And the classes which you have already basically gone through, if you want to go through the recording, it will be visible here in this section. And then there are assessments available in all the learning paths here and practice labs as well. Yeah, like just to quickly summarize, wanted to show you the program page here. Before we move on towards enrollment. Now back to the enrollment poll. So we will quickly do two set of questions here because we are talking about two different programs. So first, I would like to know, are you interested in enrolling into any of these programs? Next question will be which one? So I'm just launching a poll. You can share your response as yes if you're interested in enrolling into any of these programs, exploring it. And the next question will be which one? So I've launched the poll now. Let's give it like a few more seconds here for the poll for folks to respond. But you folks are pretty quick here. Folks have already started responding. I hope my voice is audible and clear. I just saw one message like there's a problem with the voice. I hope it's clear.
No, it's clear. It's only one person who failed.
Okay, and folks who are watching us live on a YouTube channel, a lot of questions there on the chat and engagement there as well, Vishalini. So you can also let us know by if you are interested, you can just click on the top of the live chat. You will see the link towards the program, where if you click on that link, it will take you to the program page where you can share your few basic details. I see yeses coming there on the live chat box, just pointing you in the right direction. So you can click on the link which you see on the top of the live chat. It will take you to the full stack development program page, and you can share a few basic details like your email and your details, your name and contact details and all. And if you're watching us later on our YouTube channel, you can just go to the description in the top. You will see the same program page links and get follow the same process, which we'll be talking about now. Enrollment steps. I think questions about the fee and the cohort, right? I'll talk about that in the upcoming slides quickly. Awesome. I think last 10 seconds for the poll here. So would you like to enroll into any of these full stack developer programs? So 10 seconds. Awesome. I think I'll be closing the poll now. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for sharing your interest. Now let's quickly move on towards which program would you like to enroll into? So let me just quickly launch this poll for you as well to select. So which full stack developer master's program in collaboration with IBM are you interested in enrolling? So I'm just launching this poll, and you can select one of the options which you are interested in enrolling. And yeah. Let's give it like 10-15 seconds for the poll. I know we have gotten a lot of interesting questions in the Q&A box, even though Shalini has managed to interact with you folks and answer a lot of them already. But we have some time. We'll quickly move on towards Q&A in few minutes. So just wait a little while. And yeah, this is a really good time to put on your questions about these programs or about what we have discussed about full stack and one stack. Java. Yeah. I see most of you already started responding to this. So let's give it like 10 more seconds.
I just take this one question. Is there any age criteria to take this course? So I did my engineering in 2000 and I started my career in 2010, which was, I guess, around the age of 35. And I'm doing good. So I guess age is just a number, just when you start and how you start. That's all. So no age.
Agree with you. Totally agree with you. I think today, like every year, you need to upskill yourself, right? if no matter which field are you in, right? So it is definitely required, and I don't think so there's any age. It is just number, definitely. So
And people are asking what to start with, MERN or Python or Java. It's totally your choice, your interest. Maybe if you have a basics of one particular stack, go on with that stack because that will be easy for you to understand. If you know Java basics, go with Java stack. If you know Python basics, go with Python stack. Whichever you are comfortable. If you're starting a fresh, then also you can choose any one of these stack. But stick to one stack for a year or two, understand that particular stack, and then you transition. Also, you need to be agile. So it happens even for the freshers who join the organization, they are given training on Java. And believe me, after 3 months of vigorous training, they are not using Java. They are moved to say Python, or they have learned Python and they are moved to Java or any other technology. So my only thing is don't marry. I mean, you're not marrying the language or the technology. Just take it as they go as your girlfriends and boyfriends. Just enjoy it while they are there. And then when they leave it, you just leave them and it sit at above, I see you. So, you're not marrying them. So please don't tie up with the technology or language and don't be so much into that because you don't know what MNC you will be joining in and what stack they are using. So the only thing is your attitude matters when you go for the interviews. Are you open for upskilling? Are you open for whatever your company offers you? And that's all that matters. And concepts. So companies don't expect that if you know Java and if they have a Python requirement, they would ask you questions to Python, but they would expect you that if you say you know Java, you understand the concepts that you have learned. That is all. Transitioning from one to other is, I won't say it's a cakewalk, but it's not that difficult as well. So yeah.
thank you so much, everyone, for sharing, which program you would like to take on. And yeah, quickly moving on to the enrollment steps before you move on to the Q&A. So there are 3 simple, easy steps you'll have to follow for enrolling to the program now that you have shared interest. So the step 1 here is you have to submit an application to us. You'll have to apply at askus@simplilearn.net. Step 2 here is application will go for review based on the eligibility and the prerequisites which I've shared with you earlier. I'll share the link as well. I'll share the scan code on the screen as well in the upcoming slide. You can scan it and check it out for yourself. You can download the brochure as well. And step 3 here will be your admission offer will be coming from the learning consultants from Simplilearn. So 3 simple, easy steps to follow. And now quickly talking about the program fee here and the upcoming cohort. So the full stack developer MERN stack program fee is $1,449 including GST for ROW candidates. And for Indian candidates, the fee here is 53,999 INR rupees, including GST. And the program induction, which is upcoming, is on 30th July. And the classes for this cohort will start on 3rd of August. And even after this webinar, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'll share the email in the chat. And similarly, for the full stack Java developer program, the induction is happening on 30th July and the classes are starting on 3rd of August. And the fee here for US ROW candidates is $1,449 dollars including GST, and for Indian candidates is 40,000 INR rupees including GST. So yeah, just to quickly take you through the enrollment steps here. I'll share the scan code, folks. You can check it out for your own region as well. Because I know that you have joined from different countries. It might be very hard to show you for all places. Also, we do have installment options, finance partners as well. That it will be really great when I show you the scan code of the program page. You can go and check it out for your own region, as well. So thank you so much, folks. Thank you. Yeah, moving on to the Q&A. So Shalini, I think you have managed to answer a lot of these questions already. I'm just quickly also browsing through the questions myself. If we do have like 5 minutes, let's see like if I think how much I've already shared. I share the scan code after this slide. So you can scan it as well and go and download the syllabus and check out the fee. So questions about the fee.
I guess I've answered the technical questions. Rest were with fees and placements. So I guess you are the best person to answer this. Someone also asked if there is does Simplilearn provides any free courses?
Yeah, we do. We have SkillUp as a platform which you can check out. And basically that is where, in case you're exploring, which category or, course you want to take up at Simplilearn. So we have a free skilling up platform, SkillUp, where you can go and basically, try out these free courses, very well designed courses. I'll share the link with you, towards the end. and you can check out the skill up. You can go and Google yourself as well. If you type skill up right now, Simplilearn, you will find a lot of these questions. And also Shalini has mentioned that we also have a lot of these in our YouTube channel as well. So there are some, 8 hours, 10 hours, basically knowledgeable videos we post every day to help you out with free knowledge as well, while you're exploring which, field you want to go in, and which more, maybe course or program or we want to switch your career to. Installments, I've already answered. We do have installment options. I'll share the scan code next in the next slide. You can scan it, and you'll be able to see the installment partners, finance partners there as well. Certificate.
One person asked, are they going to work more than office hours? It all depends. So no job is easy. You can see Russia is working at 8 p.m. IST.
Yeah,
So
we have another webinar after this. I'll work till 10:30 because I work in the ROW zone. That is why. So yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it all depends upon which organization you join in, what is the requirement. If there's a production, yes, you're working maybe 24 hours. I do that sometimes. If no production, you may be relaxed, just 9 to 5 and go home and relax and enjoy your day. You have lots of leaves as well. You can take the advantage of that. So it all depends upon how much you want to work and how much you want to be busy. So it's all about that and what your company requires. So there is no hard and fast tick that you are working 8 hours or 10 hours or 4 hours. It all depends upon the need basis and the project that you are working in. And someone asked, I want to learn Java full stack. How? So this is where we are giving you the platform. Please enroll for the courses. So that's how you will be able to learn. Great. I guess that's all from my side. I don't think anything else is there.
Sure. Thank you so much, Shalini. Thank you for, for an amazing session and comparison. I saw the energy on the chat,
Yeah.
saw the engagement and energy, not only here in our YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much, first of all, for such an interesting session. It's always a pleasure hosting you, Shalini. And yeah, I think we can see the appreciation I think we have been getting in the last few minutes. They are showing appreciation even before we have ended it. So thank you so much again, for folks as well, for being such an amazing audience. And I think from the interest we saw towards enrollment, I think we'll be seeing a lot of them in the upcoming cohorts, where they can, join you and, other amazing experts we have as well. So, yeah, would you like to say something to them for the appreciation they're showing on the chat for you? So,
Yeah, no. Monish, to answer, because he's continuously asking me to answer the question. If you already have a certificate in Node.js and if you know .NET, why not to take the .NET stack? Definitely Simplilearn also provides with that. So Russia, they can enroll for any other course apart from what we are pitching in right now, right?
yeah, they
You can
can.
definitely talk to their team and you can enroll for .NET if you know .NET basics. I mean, I would suggest that, and that should be the way. If you know something, go ahead with that. And yes, hackathons are important.
Yeah.
So please, you should enroll for hackathons and you should participate. That also help you understand your capabilities and where you are lacking and where you need to grow more to be able to, end up in a good MNC. So yes, hackathons, projects, practicing, solving, doing freelancing projects, even if for free. I've done lots of freelancing free projects as well, maybe just for peanuts, but that gave me that confidence to be able to pitch in a good MNC. And I am today working with lots of Fortune 500 companies. So yes, always I just have an attitude of learning rather than just earning. Earning comes, it's a byproduct of learning. Remember that. So that's
Agree
all.
with that,
Thank you so much, Risha, for hosting me. And it's always awesome to see you as well. You're such a beautiful smile and
Thank you
lovely
so much.
audience as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you so much, Shalini. I really appreciate your comment. And again, a very lovely audience, right? A very lovely audience. I think they have been also waiting for the webinar certificate. So allow me to just move on towards the, reading and the webinar certificate quickly.
And I'll take leave.
Yeah, sure.
Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you so much, Shalini. Have a good night.
You too.
For folks who are have joined us for the webinar certificate as well, I'm going to launch the webinar certificate poll. But before that, we would also love to know how was the content of the session? How satisfied are you? I've launched a poll where you can rate us out of 5, 5 being the highest. If you had a good experience, if you learned something new, if you like the comparison we did, so you can let us know by reading us in this poll. I'll just give 10 seconds more. And really appreciate your comments on the chat here for our expert Shalini, and for me as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for being an amazing audience. I think you are the ones who actually drive the session. We are just here to basically help out as much as possible, to be honest. Awesome. We'll be moving towards the webinar certificate poll quickly. I know that you folks have been waiting for it. So we'll just quickly close the session. So please don't worry. So in case you're waiting for it. Awesome. I'll just quickly end the poll now. So last 5 seconds for the reading poll. How satisfied are you with the content of this session? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. And yes, let's quickly move on towards the webinar certificate poll you have been waiting for. So you have to make sure that you enter your full name on the poll which I've launched just now, and make sure there is no grammatical error, because that is the name you can see on the certificate you'll be using. So really need that, not on the chat, Manish, on make sure you go and enter it in the poll. That is how we can help you out. So to receive a proof of attendance for this webinar, you have to enter your full name, which you want to see on the certificate, so we can personalize it and send it to you. And the recording will be sent to you within 24 to 48 hours after the webinar is done. And similarly with webinar certificate, if you've entered your name here, the certificate also will be sent to you within 24 to 48 hours. Last 10-15 seconds. Let's give it some more time. I know you folks are writing your details there, so I will not rush this. I'll just give some more time for that. Okay. Okay, someone has asked links for other webinars. Let me do that. You can check out upcoming webinars here. And you can also check out in the resource section at Simplilearn. So last 5 seconds for the poll here. And for the webinar certificate poll, last 5 seconds, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. I see most of you have filled it. So I think everyone has cleared it. So once again, thank you so much. And questions about the fee, right? Fee and the brochure and the syllabus here. Let me do one thing. Let me move to, yeah, this is the scan code. So quickly take a screenshot of this, or you can just use Google or camera to basically point it to the program page. So it will take you to the full stack Java developer one, and that is where you can see the other software development programs in the same category. You can go and explore that as well. And yeah, you can just scan it quickly for folks who want to see the fee for their own region, and also the finance patterns we have as well. So you can quickly scan this. This definitely should help you. I'll just quickly do one thing. I'll just show you, I think, a lot of questions about the other webinars, right? What I'll do is, this is the resources page where you can check out not only the webinars, but also other, free resources we have for you. Because you asked us for that, right? Where I can check out free resources. So again, this is one of them we can see upcoming here. I'm sharing this link on the chat. I'm not sure if it will work, but let's see, I've shared it here. In case you're not able to see it, you can go and check out. You will get these details over your mail as well. So please don't worry. We'll send you mails as well. So yeah, I think with this, I would like to conclude the session. Thank you so much once again. Certificate will be sent over mail. You should receive that within for 24 to 48 hours if you filled the webinar certificate code. So thank you so much. Thank you for being an amazing audience. See you on another webinar. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you so much. Thank you.